Well, folks, welcome to this Point TV, and I'm Sylvester Chidoplay. At this point, His Excellency President PresBoakai will now mount the podium for a special remark here at this retreat here at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. So here we go.
We're actually drafted to be here this morning. So I want to thank you very much. Please have your seats. Members of the cabinet, the dean of the cabinet, members of the diplomatic corps, development partners, representatives of the private sector, civil society, in the diaspora, fellow Liberians. I want to thank you very much for your commitment to the REST agenda for inclusive development. Let me let you know that we're development partners, and I'm very proud of the team that we have in government. We may have inherited some, but the one that we brought on board, we trust that they will be the one to work with us to deliver the Liberian people one thing. For our development partners, sometimes you know of the people, but we know the people. And so I want to assure you that our team is capable. We have to do some reform, but I want to assure you that this development agenda is on course. And I'm pleased to join you this morning as we take another step to advance our collective commitment to Liberia's future through the REST agenda for inclusive development. This agenda is a call to action, embodying our shared aspirations for a prosperous, inclusive, and equitable Liberia. Our challenges are intricate and multidimensional, and as I speak, we confront several challenges. Many children remain out of school, facing an uncertain future. Some of our youth, the potentially productive core, are either unemployed or entangled in the drag net of drug abuse. With women and girls disproportionately affected by economic and social challenges, the urgency for intervention could not be more apparent. These realities highlight not only the capacity issues within the institution, but also present necessity for transformative change. A change that will provide economic relief, including generating employment opportunities for our people, particularly the youth, women, and the individuals with disability. All of these are compounded by the uncertainties of an unfolding global funding landscape, which the Minister of Finance particularly has supported. We must now rethink and retool and ensure we develop the capacity to address and overcome the national and global barriers that threaten us as a people and a country. This is why the success of the National Development Plan is critical. While achieving the effective implementation of the REST agenda for inclusive development as primary responsibility of our government, we believe its ultimate success will also depend on the strength of our collaboration with our development partners. working together with government, artists, private businesses, civil society organizations, and our international friends is very critical. By fostering mutual objectives, respect, and shared responsibilities, we can turn our development goals into real, tangible outcomes. The 6 strategic pillars of the AAID, agriculture, roads, infrastructure, the rule of law and governance, education, sanitation and health, and tourism are the critical areas we believe will boost development and serve as guideposts for the transformation we see in the coming years. Key to our success will partly depend on how we foster inclusive collaboration by aligning our collective efforts and resources, enhancing capacity, encouraging innovation, and adapting the exigencies, promoting transparency and accountability to rebuild public trust, to promote state-society relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, given the price tag of nearly $8.4 billion to implement the AAID in the next 5 years, the uncertainties of international development resource infusion, we see the retreat as a government and development partners coming at an appropriate time. Which is why we warmly welcome the objectives of this retreat in course to enhance strategic partnership and seamless implementation of the AAID. We encourage the United Nations and our international partners to focus more on addressing the root causes of our development challenges rather than just the consequences, such as peace-building interventions. We build a better foundation of peace when we build an economy that creates jobs, provide incomes, and deliver services to the people. As we embark on the exciting transformative journey together, I assure you that my government stands in total cooperation and support. We are committed to working the banking sector to provide us accessible financing and foster entrepreneurship, the private sector pattern to invest in areas that are aligned to the AAID pillars, to create jobs and promote economic growth, civil society to act as both collaborators and watchdogs in ensuring inclusivity, transparency, and accountability in our international development partners to facilitate resource mobilization, including working with us to determine appropriate financing mechanism for the AAID. And finally, the Liberian people to provide opportunity to actively participate in the development process and hold government accountable. And I mean seriously, hold this government accountable. Our country is really endowed, and we come together as a people, joining hands with partners who can discover creative financing and strategies and mobilize resources in both at a local level and in the midst of funding challenges and strengthening our institution for effective delivery. By sharing the common mission and fostering collaborative spirit, we can realize the ultimate goal of the arrest agenda for inclusive growth and development. To the United Nations and the rest of our development partners, we want to thank you for your contributions and joining us to undertake this important venture. We look forward to the outcome of this retreat as we work together in the spirit of honest cooperation to steer our country toward a transformed future. I want to thank you for all of the time you've given to us and the resources you have been helping us to mobilize. Whether that's God blessing, all of us and save our country. I want to take the time to thank the president of the university for bringing us on board last minute. We believe that academia is very important to whatever we do, and we just want to appreciate you for your information. Thank you. God bless you, and we wish you a very successful retreat.
His Excellency President Joseph Boakai.
Heads of all diplomatic issues and ambassadors, please come forward. And the head of the development partnership, please come forward for a photograph with His Excellency. Can you turn the screen off, please? Thank you.
Collaboration, high level of youth here, of course, and some issues here, and yeah, so the program is partnership for the implementation of what the national it's like you're following to years. That's what happens. Just keep on stuff. See here.
Stupid morning, I'll go watch. What's up?
Please remain in your seats as the president presents. Please remain in your seat. Heads of entities,
Give me your call,
you
man.
are allowed to leave this hall.
Your call.
Please have your seats. We will continue with our presentation on development pharmacy landscape and operating strategies. Please take your seats.
What more for? Man, could have come on, thank you for what? You got 5 minutes to do what you do. I guess that. See, I'm not going to do.
Okay, we'll now ask Mr. Anthony Myers, the Minister of Physical Affairs, and Mr. Yampor to resume their presentation. Please take your seats. Ministers and heads of entities, please remain in your hall. It is important that you participate in this program.
I've been taking very much the piece to the opening session having been done. We appreciate the presence of His Excellency the President. So we will quickly go through the remainder of the presentation. So this is where they demonstrate the development financing along through the budget or even through the private sector landscape. Renewable agriculture is the major share of our GDP. So the input cost of agriculture, all tools, seeds, fertilizer, and other inputs are becoming a major challenge in also financing agriculture in terms of investment capital as well as the prices of inputs. Then market access, of course. Already the export space was shrinking. Then with tariff introduced, including the additional 10% on Liberian exports, that even makes things more challenging. And commodity prices, especially from the mining natural resources and other natural resources, are also subject to international politics. And obviously, the impact of the development in the international trade sector that we are experiencing. And this, of course, lay additional constraint on the attraction of investment, whether investment by domestic, private sector, or foreign direct investment. Next slide. So, there you can go. Next slide. So, this is the example from 2021 to now about the declining prices of major commodities, some imports and some export commodities. So we share this with the rest of the team. Next slide. So the primary sectors, the impact of the primary sectors are just been discussed. Now this is the impact on the key service sectors of tourism and banking and finance. So capital inflows into the banks will reduce foreign investment, will reduce foreign aid. The financial flows into our commercial banks are constrained. And also we talk about credit crunch. We all know what is the borrowing rate in Liberia, for example. So those small contribute to this additional challenges on the service. Next. And on the social side, the impact on poverty and inequality and health and education are obvious, as have been outlined previously. But we'll let a specific example of the social impact of the current constraint to aid flow. And the example that we can give and we've been using is, for example, school feeding and the distribution of medicine to our hospitals and other health facilities. These services were directly impacted by the withdrawal of USG funding. Next. And some of the factors, these are already been elaborated: changing global conditions, changes in priority in many developed countries looking more inward than outward. Next. What's happening? So we were now on the recommendations that we want to make. National domestic financing, addressing challenges, we are proposing through the Ministry of Finance, the Cabinet, and the rest of the government measures that can be undertaken to mitigate them. There have been a series of cabinet level meetings, series of consultations with the development partners that are included by the UNRC. So, leveraging our domestic finance base is important, starting with tax revenue, non-tax revenue, domestic borrowing to the extent that it doesn't act normally or increase our debt ceiling, and public-private partnerships. In fact, in recent months, various members of the government have been holding a series of conversations with different private sector investors on a number of public-private partnerships. We have most government agencies also have ongoing concessional agreement for service delivery with different partners, private sector investors. And also the institutional and structural challenges. The tax base remain very limited, so the CD will give more details when we get in the discussion that follows on how to broaden and deepen the tax base, improve the tax administration, and ensure that the impact of political and economic instability doesn't spill over and become an hindrance or hindrances to the development or implementation of any idea. So, we are proposing a number of mitigating measures. Tax policy reforms, I already talked about broadening the tax base, modernizing tax administration, we elaborate on that. Review and rationalize tax incentive, or allocated free, or investment incentives, or incentives and so on. Non-tax revenue, this will come from improving SOE governance in terms of compliance with the PFM and other requirements, increase their ability to contribute to the national budget, and make them less reliant on the consolidated income. And also, administrative service fees and regulatory fees collected by different government ministries and agencies will be improved. And, for example, improving and increasing the capacity of our county service centers to collect those revenues. Of course, PFM management is a must. It's a key requirement for all of this, whether our ability to make use of external resources or on domestic resources. We need to have a better PFM or regime for that. In fact, as we speak, the Ministry of Finance just concluded a 1-week meeting on all of our PFM legal framework for the possibility of making recommendations for amendment and introduction of new legal requirements. Institutional capacity building. So, to the extent that external resources were helpful to building our capacity, we still need to build capacity so we rely on our own source of revenue to improve our capacity, whether it's in tax administration, whether it's in PFM management, whether it's to implement the programs, the accelerated and 70+ program, the residential, and any kind of development that will require capacity if you're not focused. On the economic front, there has to be an immediate plan to stabilize the economy by shielding or building infrastructures to contend with the impact of the reduction in external resource flow. And this ties in with the fiscal policy measures, such as increasing and protecting revenue base and reducing complaint expenditure on the budgets. Diversifying our improve our economy by allowing growth to accelerate the non-traditional sectors, technology, tourism, and the service sector, for example. Investing in farming techniques, the agriculture minister has a old agricultural plan, and there was the essence of that was shown with the municipal implementation. And also trade policies, we should begin to look more regional, continental, and then international. ECOWAS as a region has trade policies. We are gradually becoming fully integrated into the ECOWAS trade region. Therefore, there's the Africa Free Trade Agreement. Then promote our exports, firstly in the region and then across the wider African continent. Introducing policies and measures that will attract foreign direct investment as well as domestic private-public partnership. Social safety nets. We measure the social impact of the reduction in external aid. So the government, through the investment agenda and other programs, have to develop social safety nets. Now, for example, give children in school, give us the vulnerable segments of the population, and so forth. Global partnerships. We will have to continue this conversation both in Liberia and outside with the principles of our bilateral and multilateral partners, so as to reposition ourselves so that the relationship, the development relationship in the new environment can be free or can reposition ourselves in our context. And debt management. Obviously, with reduced resource capacity, there is the temptation to finance development through debt, which for investment purposes can be useful. So we have to be very strategic. What do we take debt for? What are the economic returns of the resources or the proceeds of the debt and the use to which we hold those resources? So to conclude, the retreat of this conversation is about us building consensus for enhanced partnership and coordination around the ARD, including alignment of local programs with the programs in the ARD, and to also find ways of identifying new methods of resource mobilization and resilience mechanisms that help us to absorb the shocks that come and to continue on the path of implementation. And what we need to do require action, re-examine our fiscal policies, revenue administration, expenditure management, and reorientation of our economic policies and priorities. Thank you very much for your attention.
We're going to adjust the program. Mr. Clava Getete has the presentation in the next hour, so we'll skip and ask Mr. Clava Getete to come and present. His presentation is in the section that has to do with developing financing landscape and alternative strategies. Mr. Getate, can you come over, please? Is he presenting online? Oh, okay. Are we ready for you? Okay. All right. Development. The entirety is the UNEC executive secretary, an important person. All right, while we are trying to solve the technical glitches, we'll ask His Excellency Carl Bachers, Ambassador Street, to present on enhancing partner recognition for increased impact on national development. Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much, MC. Honorable Ministers, heads of government agencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honorable ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to be here. As the MC said, my name is Carl Hughes, and I'm the Ambassador of Sweden to Liberia. I've been given the opportunity to make a few remarks, as Sweden is currently one of two co-chairs of the CPG. For those of you who haven't heard of CPG before, CPG stands for Cooperation Partners Group. As the name indicates, the group consists of bilateral and multilateral organizations with substantial development cooperation with Liberia. The CPG is a key forum that meets every month to ensure synergies and complementarities between different programs, projects, and activities, as well as alignment of development partners to the efforts of the Liberian state. Part of the role of the CPG is also to ensure effectiveness in the delivery of development cooperation and reduce transaction costs. The CPG also engages in broader dialogues on economic, political, and social development in Liberia, all with the objective to enhance coordination and with a clear focus on development results. Because ultimately, that is what we all want to see, sustainable, inclusive development in Liberia. As has been mentioned by previous speakers, we all know that the world is changing fast and that the donor landscape is shifting. Official development assistance is undergoing massive changes with significant cuts both here in Liberia and across the continent. I think we have to be realistic. Most likely, the lion's share of this funding that has disappeared will not come back. There is, as far as I know, no one who is ready to come in and fill the gaps. We can and we should hope for the best, but let's plan for the worst. In this environment, the issue of using resources effectively and ensuring that funds are being spent well is more important than ever. And here, the strategic partnerships between the government and Liberia and development partners is key. As was established in the Lausanne Agreement in 2011, as donors and partners to Liberia, we really need to recognize the country ownership of the development by aligning our support to national priorities. We have a golden opportunity right here at this occasion today to do just that, to strengthen partnerships to ensure stronger impact and delivery of a more prosperous Liberia. With the new National Development Plan as a foundation, this forum creates an opportunity to better align and coordinate with the ultimate aim of achieving results in line with what has been set out in the AID. The private sector is a key player in these efforts. The involvement of the private sector as a critical partner in development needs to be prioritized in decision-making and implementation of the AID. I'm therefore very glad to see private sector participation in this event today. Let me also welcome and recognize the importance of CSOs as some of the key actors when it comes to delivering on the ambitions laid out in the AEI. Compared to a lot of other countries, Liberia is a rather small country with a limited donor space. So there should be ample opportunity to come together and work jointly. But in order to do so, we all need to improve. As donors, we need to refrain from creating parallel structures. We need to take part in the coordination efforts called for by the government. And on the other side, we expect the government and people of Liberia to be the driver's seat, take a firm hold of the steering wheel and lead the process, fulfilling their national ownership. The Liberian government is responsible for its development challenges and need to allocate its budget accordingly. We strongly urge the Liberian government to increase budget accountability and transparency and to make every effort to stamp out corruption. There is a huge potential to reduce Liberia's external dependency if leakages caused by corruption are sealed. Corruption is never a victimless crime. Every time someone takes or gives a bribe, every time public money is used for anything other than its intended purposes, every time that public officials fail to fully discharge the duties that they are paid for, it is theft from the mouths of the poorest Liberians. It is high time to end impunity for such crimes. We must also judiciously use the limited resources available even more effectively. Among other things, this includes a rethink of travels and workshops, where savings for critical development needs can be made. We should take a look at the current pattern of travel and workshop arrangements and strive to reduce the number of meetings held outside of Monrovia to reduce costs for DSAs, catering, and transportation. It is also important to highlight the possibilities with digital development. There are possibilities with digital development as well. The Liberia dashboard is one example which could potentially be used even more to enhance coordination among development partners and between government and development partners. I want to encourage all of us to utilize this platform so as to harness the potential of digital planning, monitoring, and reporting. As part of the efforts to improve coordination and effectiveness, we should increase the periodicity of coordination meetings. This will enhance aid information management, support coordination, and advisory services. A commitment to regular coordination and stock-taking provides an update on the implementation of the AIP to all stakeholders concerned, and it's an vital opportunity for learning and readjustment. Let me close by thanking the government for organizing this full-day retreat. I am very much looking forward to explore and discuss new ways of working to reach the ultimate goal of contributing to the sustainable development of Liberia. But I also want to remind us all that today is just one step on the way. Any conclusion or recommendations we take away from this day must be translated into practice and improved ways of working. Let me be a little bit blunt. Today should not be primarily about listening to lofty statements, but discussing concrete actions. If not, we will have wasted this very opportunity. So I hope we can all commit to using this gathering here today as a stepping stone, not an end in itself. With that, I close and wish us all fruitful deliberations.
Thank you, Mr. Council. We'll do a few things. Okay, there was a little adjustment. Mr. Keta couldn't be heard because of some technical problems. And so we asked the Master's Excellency to come in present. We'll go back to the first presentation by Honorable Myers and Mr. Nakor. If you have comments or questions regarding that? Yes.
My name is Joseph.
they have the Public Procurement and Concession Commission. And I want to go back on Minister Myers' presentation. I want to say thank you, Mr. Myers, wonderful presentation. But like the President said, we have to come up with $4.5 billion over the next 5 years to implement the AI agenda. I think we have to be very mindful and very blunt. Our world is changing and face changing realities. And I want to say to the time that we really negotiate the MDAs with my companies, MDA Mineral Development Agreement. All these concessions come that you take our resources out with just their payments. Since 1847, we've been doing this. Lamborghini left, LMC, Paul Myers, Alabama show. It's got time to really negotiate. You look at how Trump did in America, you put the tariff, bringing in the US government. It's got time to tell these concessions that you want your partnership with government here. Either you 20% of the profit or some percentage at least to get return on investment. We can't keep doing this as usually expecting different results. That's what the suggestion comes from us. So we're discussing what we're going to raise the $4 billion. And also we have to look into the carbon credit market. That brought out the largest storage in West Africa. Okay. The carbon credit, I'll be here but the Imperial administration, they are proposed over $800 million on carbon credit investing in this country. So we got to look at the carbon credit market this stuff. It's very important. It's a new market, a new thing out there, carbon credit, we'll have to furnish that. And last thing I want to say is we have the largest coastline in West Africa. I don't see why government invest in the fisheries. They create jobs for all the fishermen on the coast from Cape Town to Cabanos. You can have them, government invest in the fishing vessels, government can start to export fish. It's a dedication for fish around the world. Right in Africa, the African market is set at grading or market on the African front. The country of Burkina Faso, they're looking for fish. They are land country. Mali, Niger, all looking for fish. So I will see what we can export. Have all these foreign vessels in our water to protect our fish because we have no coastline to protect our waters. So we need to look into that too because if the world is changing, if you're not going to embrace another country, we need to invest in that. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll pause here. We'll come back to Mr. Anthony Myers' presentation.
Okay, we will continue on. Yeah, you are right, Mr. Director. And fortunately, the senior members of the IRCC are here with me for revisiting our approach to concession negotiation. So one of the things that we are doing often is the task change. And I'm sure maybe not be overstepping my limit. I say that the new approach that we have to adopt is the task change or yesterday will not be the same as today. They give you the context of maximizing our revenue base, leveraging the opportunities that will happen in the agricultural sector. And there are other concerns that are now trying to take some of the negotiation. We will be announcing forward for
Thank you. We understand Mr. Detate is ready, so we'll go back to his presentation and then return to the first session. So, is he available? Okay. Mr. Detate will be presenting on inclusive, sustainable, and forward-thinking development.
I think it's
Ms. Barton, good morning. We can active this ready. We want to not solo analysis works, yeah?
Not yet, Mr. President. Okay, while we're waiting for Mr. Katati, we'll ask the panelists for the Development Finance Landscape and Intensive Strategy session out to the function. This technology. Well, Mr. Katati now is on the phone. Very good. Go ahead.
We are also facing the climate change, which we have never seen before, that is costing our economy about 5% and sometimes higher in some of the countries. We are also seeing the high indebtedness that we have never seen before. It's now crossing the line of 1 trillion for African countries, and having African countries paying more than 100 billion US dollars in terms of the interest paid. We are seeing for the first time the serious decline in aid, in foreign aid, that we have seen over the recent days from Sharp, everybody has seen, starting from United States, European countries and others. And we are seeing, of course, the tariffs. Here in ECA, we have done a very comprehensive analysis of the tariffs which are going to present in this of finance next Monday. We have seen, of course, the trade wars. We have seen access to concessional financing, and of course challenges of the macroeconomic management because of all these issues that we are talking about. So as we discuss, we should have that in mind, that where this leading is that we need to deal with this situation ourselves. We need this time to focus on the domestic resource mobilization, dealing with what actually this sort of state has just presented in terms of the informal sector, really, which is about 82% in our own economies, together with the formal sector, to digitize the entire economy, to really deal with the issue of the incentive that we give to any investors, and to provide the capacity that's needed for tax collection. We also need to deal with the issue of the establishment of our capital market, which is very difficult. And this time we look at ourselves in terms of getting the resources from outside the normal channels, but that will depend on the credit rating, which is very difficult, that you're going to have to address. But also we need to look at the African market, which is the African continental free trade area, and knowing that we need to do everything possible to benefit from this market. And I think the recent tariffs have reminded us that this is the direction where we need to go. Yes, we have the global forums, the financing for economy, the first conference that is coming. We have the Pact for the Future. We have the Forum of the Global Financial Architecture. But this process will take time. And that's why we need to find a way of dealing with the situation ourselves. And this is possible. I can tell you from that country, Rwanda, which faced the worst of any situation, if the country has started from almost zero and been where it is, and has gone through the entire process, it has made it means any other country can make it. Rwanda in 1994, after the genocide of this Tutsi, where the country lost more than 1 million people, at that time, when the genocide ended, the economy had declined by half, by 50%. I don't know many other countries that have such a situation. And we are seeing the inflation at 64%, the poverty levels at 78%, and we are seeing all the social and economic institutions completely destroyed. It was basically a country that never existed at that point, and nobody gave it a chance that it would exist as a vital state. And starting from that base, it was the first time that we spent almost 3 years with no revenues of our own. We are depending on Nigeria to almost towards 1995. Sorry, I can hear the phone. It's okay. Okay, I can now continue. I still hear the echo of I don't want to make a happen. to happen. Hello? Yeah, but your voice, please. I was speaking. We couldn't hear you. Oh. Yeah, so speak okay. Oh, so now can you hear me now? Yes. But I still get echo. I don't know how to do this. Yes, I can hear you.